All right, let's do it. Let's answer some of your questions. Joe, you go first. Spud, 135-67184. That's the Twitter handle.
That's the Twitter.
That's a Russian
KKR for
That's a
2020.
KKR for 2020, staying with it. Cash on hand for private equity above $1 trillion right now. M&A is going to continue to flow. I think if you think about what hedge funds once were, that's what private equity is now becoming.
All right, Doc, for you from Jesse in Los Angeles, what do you think about Virgin Galactic?
Love it. You know it. We did an unusual activity on it recently, Scott. Morgan Stanley says this one could have almost that biotech sort of moves. In other words, fantastic to the upside, but could be bad if something happens against them, as it did a few years ago. Right now, it looks very strong, and I like it. I think it goes over 14.
Okay, Jenny from George and Hurst, Texas, Iron Mountain. Good long term, yes or no?
Long term, absolutely, with an 8% dividend yield. Big yield. And that's totally consistent. They've grown the regular dividend every year since they became a REIT. They should continue to grow it, trading at 14 times price to FFO. It's an indirect play on the data centers. It's been totally consistent. And if you can grow that over time, 8% plus maybe like a little capital appreciation, over the long term, you're going to have a fantastic total return.
All right, Josh, lastly, Fred in New Jersey wants to know about Canopy Growth.
I own it. It's like the worst stock I own. It might be the worst stock on earth.
It might have a comeback.
So after last year's destruction in weed stocks, Canopy Growth is the largest publicly traded marijuana play or hemp play or whatever they call it, which is a little bit like being named the leper with the most fingers left. So congratulations on that. Here's why I'm staying with it, though. Constellation Brands invested $4 billion into this pig, and they're sticking with it. The former CFO of Constellation Brands.
When are you going to get to the point why you like it?
Which is a hugely successful consumer business, wine, beer, etc. They make Corona. They just I think installed their former CFO as the new CEO of Canopy Growth. So for me, that's a little bit of a vote of confidence, I guess. Stock went from 13 to 20 in the last week of the year for no reason. It's very volatile. I'm going to stay with it and see what happens. I do not recommend anyone else do something as stupid as I did and take a flyer in stocks like this.
Okay, good stuff.